Over 200 people believed to be mostly villagers in Basalogo municipality of Burkina Faso were on Saturday shot dead by armed group when the people were digging trenches to serve as security barricade for military posts in the community, a task reportedly demanded from the civilian population by the military president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré. Local television in Burkina Faso, RTV, reported on Sunday that some government officials have visited some of the victims at the hospital who were injured during the attack that left over 200 people dead and estimated 140 others seriously injured. Al-Qaeda-affiliated Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin has claimed responsibility for the attack that led to killing of up to 200 people and injuring 140 in central Burkina Faso's Basalogo. Al Jazeera showed a video reportedly made available by the terrorist organization in which, in the video, hundreds of persons were seen lying lifeless on the ground close to the trenches they were digging and the suspected terrorists with AK-47 rifles seen around the scene of the crime. Some of the aggrieved residents of Burkina Faso have posted on social media, saying, since June 2024, they have asked the question whether it was a solution to dig the pits to solve the insecurity situation in Burkina Faso as demanded and implemented by Captain Ibrahim Traoré. It was gathered that the terrorists came with motorcycles and started shooting at the villagers while riding the two-wheels vehicles. What else am I gonna say? On this same page I had denounced this war technique of Ibrahim Traoré. Some have called us enemies of the nation. Let's understand this crime will not go unpunished. Someone will bear the full responsibility for this massacre of our civilians by armed groups. How can we send civilians on the front line to dig IB trenches without the slightest protection? These civilians were sent to the slaughterhouse as animals to be slaughtered. The commander-in-chief of these operations must be prosecuted for endangering the lives of others. We cannot continue to witness these massacres of civilians without the assistance of the military. IB will not be the only one responsible. All who will execute his reckless orders will bear full responsibility, one of the aggrieved residents wrote on social media. It would be recalled that Al-Qaeda affiliate Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin (JNIM) group also claimed responsibility for an attack on June 11, 2024 that killed over 100 Burkina Faso soldiers in Mansilla area near the border with Niger. Earlier in August, Al-Qaeda terrorists ambushed Burkinabe forces convoy in Goma. Videos posted online by the group showed the militants captured large quantities of Serbian Zastava M05E1 rifles, Chinese W85 heavy machine guns, VZ50 SP rifle, DZDI-40 air-burst projectiles, ZPU-2 autocannon, PK Type 80 machine guns, RPG-7, Type 69 RPG launchers, Type 67-22 machine guns, PG-7 VH-80 projectiles, Zastava M70AB2 rifles, 60mm mortars, Type 56-156-2 rifles, Type 2 AK-47 rifles, vehicles, ammunition amongst others seen in the videos posted by terrorist group. The attack by the Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin (JNIM) resulted in the capture of several Burkinabe soldiers, with one of the captives who spoke in the video posted by the terrorists identifying himself and others with him as Burkina Faso soldiers. Saturday incident is the latest in a surge of attacks by armed groups in the Sahel region, which has seen an increase in violence since the departure of Western partners, according to close watchers. Few days ago, according to Reuters, Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger urged the UN Security Council to take responsibility for Ukraine's alleged support of rebels, following an attack in July in which Malian soldiers and mercenaries from Russia's Wagner group were killed. According to the international news network, Mali cut diplomatic ties with Ukraine in early August over comments by a spokesperson for Ukraine's military intelligence agency, Andriy Yusov, about fighting in Mali's north that killed Malian soldiers and mercenaries from the Russian Wagner group in late July. The military government of Niger followed suit days later in solidarity with its neighbor. Yusuf had said Malian rebels had received necessary information to conduct a successful military operation. Mali and Niger interpreted Yusuf's comments as an admission of Ukraine's direct involvement in the conflict and accused it of supporting international terrorism as a result. Ukraine has repeatedly called the allegations groundless and untrue. Its foreign ministry did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The country is still locked in heavy fighting with Russia more than 2 years after Moscow's invasion. A Tuareg rebel alliance has also said it did not receive any Ukrainian support. Both ethnic Tuareg separatists and jihadist insurgents operate in North Mali. The Tuareg said they had killed at least 84 Wagner mercenaries and 47 Malian soldiers over days of fierce fighting in July. An Al-Qaeda affiliate separately said it had killed 50 Wagner mercenaries and 10 Malian soldiers in an ambush on one of those days. In their letter to the Security Council, the foreign ministers of Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso asked it to take responsibility for Ukraine's actions and to prevent subversive acts that threaten regional and continental stability. The letter's text was posted on the Malian Foreign Ministry's social media account. Diplomats said it was circulated to the 15-member Security Council on Tuesday evening. Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger have turned their backs on traditional Western and regional allies in favor of Russia since their juntas took power over the past 4 years. The July attacks, which took place in Mali's northern Kidal region near the border with Algeria, are potentially Wagner's heaviest defeat since it stepped into years ago to help the junta fight jihadist insurgents. The ethnic Tuareg are a separate group who inhabit the Sahara region, including parts of northern Mali. Tuareg-led separatists launched a rebellion in 2012 that was pushed back into Mali's arid north and later hijacked by Islamist militant groups. Attacks by armed groups have increased in the Sahel since Western partners left. According to a local source, the Saturday attack was pre-informed. The source said there was going to be an attack of an extreme scale in Basalago. We learned the villagers were out very early on Saturday morning to dig trenches around the village. The attack unfolded as villagers, under the protection of a small army unit, were fortifying their defenses by digging trenches. The attackers struck without warning, unleashing a barrage of gunfire on the unsuspecting residents, according to local residents in Basalago. At least 140 individuals have been evacuated to health centers, with the regional hospital in Kaya mobilizing its entire surgical team to assist the injured. The assailants also stole weapons and a military ambulance during the attack, according to reports. Also, in June 2021, around 100 civilians were killed overnight, considered then to be the deadliest attack in Burkina Faso since jihadist violence erupted in the country in 2015. The attack occurred when armed individuals staged an incursion into the northern town of Solhan, a resident said. The toll, which is still provisional, is about 100 dead, men and women of different ages, the resident said. The government confirmed the attack and the death toll. Assailants struck around 2 a.m. or 200 GMT against the position of the Volunteers for the Defense of the Motherland, PDP, an anti-jihadist civilian defense force which backs the National Army, before attacking homes and carrying out executions, a local resident said. The VDP was set up in December 2019 to help Burkina's poorly equipped military fight jihadists, but it has suffered more than 200 fatalities, according to AFP report then in 2021. The volunteers are given 2 weeks military training, and then work alongside the security forces, typically carrying out surveillance, information gathering or escort duties. In addition to the heavy human toll, the worst recorded to date, homes and the market were set on fire, another resident said, voicing concern that the still temporary toll of 100 dead may increase. The country then declared 3 days of national mourning over the attack. Solan, a small community around 15 kilometers from Seba, the main city in Yaga province near the border with Mali, has been hit with numerous attacks before. On May 14, 2021, Defense Minister, Sheriff C.N. military top brass visited Seba to assure people that life had returned to normal, following a number of military operations. The massive attack by suspected jihadists came hours after another attack on Tadarayat village in the same region, where at least 14 people were killed. Since 2015, Burkina Faso has struggled to fight back against increasingly frequent and deadly jihadist attacks from groups including the Group to Support Islam and Muslims, GSIM, and the Islamic State in the Greater Sahara, AIGS. The attacks first started in the north near the Mali border, but have since spread to other regions, particularly in the east. Around 1,300 people died and more than 1 million fled their homes as at 2021.
OsazuwaAkonedo, bringing you the news in a more digital way.